Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jerry once again up here at Hilltop Firearms Training Center, Dover, Tennessee. Thanks for watching. Today and for the next few days, I plan to be on the range test firing this brand new Baby Desert Eagle version 3. Now this pistol is made in Israel. It's brought into the US by Magnum Research, which is part of the Car Arms Group. This handgun actually has been around for a very long time under various names, different importers. The pistol basically dates back to the year 1990. Now at the end of this video, if you want to stick around after we've done our tabletop and our range review, if you want to stick around, I got a little bit of a sentimental story you may find kind of interesting about basically this handgun or its original predecessor. Very excited to get out on the range. We're going to also do a real in-depth tabletop review to talk about the various modifications that Magnum Research did to take an already great pistol and make it even better. Stand by. All right, guys, let's take a closer look. Now, here is the hard plastic case that Magnum Research furnishes with each of the Baby Eagle pistols, which I really think is cool because a lot of companies are coming out with really cheap cardboard boxes and they ship their pistols with it. And a lot of the bigger names are actually doing that to save money. You get a very nicely illustrated owner-operator manual, of course the ever-present lock that nobody uses, some cleaning tools. Let's move that out of the way and let's get into the features of the Baby Desert Eagle. Okay, first of all, when you pick this dude up, you're gonna know that this is an all steel frame. This is made of high quality carbon steel. The slide is also carbon steel, so it brings the heft in at about 38 ounces. The pistol's heavy, but I'm gonna tell you, it also aids in the recoil. This pistol shoots wonderfully. Funny story is, I actually received 2 of the 10-round magazines where certain states do not allow high-capacity magazines, Tennessee not being one of them, and here I've got 2 10-round mags, but they did function flawlessly. So we can get some 15-rounders for that down the road. Let's talk about some of the other features. Now, overall length of the gun is 8 inches. The slide width, they have really trimmed this dude down, 1.31 inches. The finish is what it's sort of like a military grade black oxide finish, non-reflective, and I really like that. Now the one thing is you're gonna notice is on the slide, you have this redesigned teardrop. It's on both sides, teardrop shaped safety decock lever. So when the pistol is in the single action mode, where meaning live round in the chamber, hammer to the rear, you would then just simply depress the decock lever and it's going to safely lower the hammer. Now you'll notice the trigger is in neutral mode. There's nothing going to happen here. Flick it off. You have a very crisp and clean. Now it's a little long, but it is a double action pistol. Double action mode is approximately 12 pounds. Single action mode, there's just a little bit of take up, not much, right here, and wow, clean break at 4 pounds. That is phenomenal. Now, the more you shoot this pistol, over time, it's going to smooth it out a little bit because this is still a new pistol. Full length, under the dust cover here, full length 1913 true Picatinny rail. They have also gone in and basically machined these areas to lighten the pistol as well and give it a much smoother and cleaner appearance. For you that like these types of things, you do have the combat squared trigger guard with just a little bit of serrations if you needed to stick it, you know, say against a barricade or something. You got some grooves here to aid, and also back in here, very, very comfortable. These are high quality, just hard polymer grips. I would have preferred rubber, but I think these are really well designed, very, very comfortable. Let's take a look at the sights. Now these are made from LPA sights. These are really good, high quality steel 3-dot sights, but they are my least favorite thing because I do not run 3-dot sights on any of my handguns anymore. I have to have either a Mariglo Pro iDots or the Trijicon HD sight. So if you don't like these style sights, you can go ahead and get those upgraded. Match grade barrel. Now, the weird thing about this is a lot of handguns nowadays have what they call the polygonal rifling. This is a 4.43 match grade barrel, right hand twist with 6 lands and grooves. And as you could tell when we were shooting, the accuracy is phenomenal out of this pistol. It certainly made my job easier because I don't really consider myself a very good shooter. And this thing, I mean, you just press the trigger and you're putting rounds where they need to go. I really love the way they trim this pistol down. It's so thin to accommodate a double column magazine. It almost feels like a single stack pistol. Back in the 80s, I remember when they called them the Wonder 9mm started coming out, and you know, they had high capacity mags. A lot of the pistols had really, really thick grips, but even a person with small hands can definitely grip this pistol. Ergonomically, what is this reminiscent of? Of course, it is the CZ75 series pistols made in Czechoslovakia. This is highly reminiscent of that with the grip angle, the high sweep tang here. And there's something else that I wanted to really talk about. And I'm gonna grab another pistol to compare something. I wanna show you something that makes these pistols so phenomenally accurate. All right, guys, I wanted to do just a quick comparison to show you the difference in how these types of pistols are constructed, say when you compare them to, say, like a Sig Sauer. Now, Sig Sauer, of course, one of the most respected handguns in the world. This is the P226. But I want you to notice something. Look at the high bore axis on the Sig. Most conventional handguns today are pretty much constructed this way, including 1911s, Berettas. The slide rides along the top of the frame. That's why you have these machined rails along the top of the frame, and the slide sits on the top. Now, it's a very effective design, but notice this. It utilizes what they call the reversed rail system. The slide sits inside the frame, so your fore and aft movement is extremely tight, and it creates a very low bore axis. Notice how low that is actually sitting inside that very large frame. Let's go ahead and take it apart, and I'll kind of show you a little bit further. Simply pull this out. Look at how they machine that. Of course, very much reminiscent of the Czechoslovakian CZ75, which has been revered as one of the most well-designed 9mm handguns of all time. By doing it this way, you have got a very low bore axis and also mitigates on the recoil control. I just wanted to kind of show you that and just how you have such a well thought out design. I thought that was very, very unique. Just kind of wanted to show you that up close. All right, guys, so thanks for hanging out with me today. My initial thoughts on this handgun, I really can't say anything bad about it. It is a very robust, well-shooting, well-designed handgun. The thing is more accurate than I can shoot it. If I could see a little bit better, I probably could have made even maybe hopefully a tighter group, but basically I just point the gun, press the trigger, look at my front sight, and it was putting rounds where they needed to go. It is truly a well-made, robust handgun. A little bit heavy, but you know, it feels good in the hand. If you're looking for maybe a smaller version of this, check out the Baby Desert Eagle 3, what they call semi-compact, which is a much more trimmed down version. And if you want something lighter, they also offer a polymer framed version, but I don't think it's gonna feel as good as a steel one. I'm gonna post a link below to Magnum Research website. Check them out, got a lot of data on there. And I really thank you guys for watching the video. Now, for those that wanna stick around, here's a little story. The year was 1990. I was pretty young then. Was really into guns. Guns back then were sort of a more of a hobby for me at the time. I was trying to collect what I could. Well, I remember reading an article in one of the popular gun magazines at the time, and it talked about this handgun that was being made in Israel and soon to be imported into the United States from an importer at that time known as KBI. KBI was out of Pennsylvania. So I rushed down to my local gun guy at the time and I said, listen, here's some money down, please put me on the list, I want one of these handguns. About 5-6 months passed and finally I got the call, the gun had arrived. So me and my dad, we rushed down to the store and there's my handgun. Chambered in 2 calibers in this nice, cool box. You flip the box open and voila, there it was, the Jericho. The Jericho back then, you could get it in 9mm, and I also ordered the 41 caliber conversion kit. Now the 41 AE, which stands for Action Express, was actually designed in 1986 by Evan Wilden of Action Arms. You're looking at a 170 grain bullet with the ballistics pretty much like the 40 caliber, but a little bit hotter. And I remember that was the way I was gonna go. I liked exotic calibers at the time. A few years into it, I noticed it was getting more and more difficult to find 41 AE. Most of the ammunition that I was ordering came from Israel, from I think the boxes, I remember 2 different boxes. One was marked Uzi on the box and the other one was marked Samson. And you know, long story short, it was a cool design, but the 40 caliber Smith & Wesson kind of pushed it out of the way. And but that Jericho pistol is pretty much the predecessor to this. There was a lot of things that I feel were so similar. It almost feels like I've kind of gone back in time. Actually, this feels better than the Jericho did. The one thing about the Jericho, though, it had the slide mounted, I'm sorry, the frame mounted safety instead of it having on the slide. But other than that, having this gun back in my hand really brought back a lot of memories. And I just figured I'd share that with you. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. See you on the range.